This is a message from your child self for your healing. And what they are observing at this time is that you have been through a really difficult, painful, you may be grieving right now because you feel like you don't belong anymore. And it could be because you put in a lot of effort to do just that, to belong. And it's like whatever you did, you feel like it came to nothing. Because yeah, we can see you put a lot of faith in becoming your best self within this little circle that you were a part of. It could have been a family, could have been a religion. With the Hierophant card coming out, it could have been like a group, even like a school group or something like this. And you were like, I every day I'm going to show up. Every day I'm going to do the work. Everything they ask me to do, I'm going to do it. But there's someone here who looked at you like you're not doing enough. This could be a parental figure. With the Empress card coming out, it could specifically be a mother, but it could be a mother or a father that just kind of looked at you like, I don't know, you can see her like laying back here like, what, not impressed at all. And I feel like because of that though, it hurt you so much and caused so much grief for you, to be shut out after you put so much effort into making this person happy. And really, and I do get this feeling of, what's wrong with me? Like, why couldn't I be enough for this person? Why, after I've done all this work, like, why am I still not enough? And so your child self is really wanting to highlight this abandonment wound, this rejection that you've experienced, and all the anxiety and pain that has come from that, the depression that has come from that too. And your child self is wanting you to remember who you are underneath this situation, underneath the pain and the trauma. The lyrics that my guides want me to share are, I believe we are made of love, put here in chains to break free and to rise above. I believe we are here to see, but after trials and struggles, the truth is hard to receive, that the kingdom is always within reach. Crowns fit for you and me. And I know it's hard to believe when the world is overridden in violence, women silenced. I know my perspective is not easy to side with, but what if God is undercover, hidden within each other, beneath the rubble, just waiting to be discovered, beneath the trauma, just waiting to be uncovered, beneath the heartbreak? Under the covers, we are the giants awakening from our sleep, squeezing through the narrow tunnels of our belief. And although I know this may hurt, this is the great rebirth. And what your child self wants you to know is that, they're just wanting you to remember that underneath what has happened here, you're still the light that you are, and your soul is still bright. And it's impossible, even though this person may have put in great effort to make you feel bad and make you feel like your efforts were not good enough, to reject you, to shun you, to shut you out, to make you feel like you don't belong. Number one, you never needed to prove your worth to this person because they're not God. And like you can see, she's sitting here like judging this person's efforts and like how you move in the world, like what you think about. And you may be a very unique person. You may come up with your own ideas about things. You may not go along with what everybody wants you to do. You can see each pentacle is different. You may be also trying to figure out where you do belong in the world, what place feels right to you. And it's kind of like as you're figuring these things out, this person's judging you every step of the way and like critiquing you every step of the way. And what's crazy about this person is they're not doing anything to progress in their own life. They're just sitting around judging other people. And it's kind of silly. It's kind of silly that they have the audacity to do what they're doing. And yeah, so, and that's just the bottom of the deck energy. Here we have the same situation. I feel like you gave a lot to this situation, a lot of love and just trying to be deemed worthy. And I feel like people looked at you like you don't have your stuff together. There's someone here who is very materialistic with the King of Pentacles coming out in reverse. Materialistic, this is someone who only cares about appearances And so because you were like trying all these different ways of, I don't know, finding your spirituality, maybe pursuing different educational paths, different jobs, trying to figure out where you fit, this person may have, the reason I feel like this is a parental figure too is because they feel responsible for you looking good. Because if you look good, you make them look good. And if you don't, then they're like upset about it. Yeah, and it's kind of like you've had to walk on eggshells for a really long time to make this person. This could be multiple people, even actually, because we did have the Hierophant. This could be like a whole community that I'm talking about, a family. Um, yeah, it's like you had to walk on eggshells. And also, you had to pursue paths that you may not have been passionate about. You may have not felt called to do that or whatever, but you did it so they would look at you as successful, as worthy, as good enough. And it's kind of like your child self is saying, it's time to stop doing this. It's time to stop abandoning yourself to be loved, to be accepted. Because if you are around people with conditional love, like that's just adding more trauma to you that you don't need. And living inauthentically is adding more trauma to you, even as an adult. And your child self is within you still, and is still suffering because of this wounding. Yeah, and what they're saying to you too is they're saying it's time to go back to your roots and go back to who you are before the trauma came in. Yeah, because you are the giant. What did she say in the lyrics? You're the giant awakening from your sleep, squeezing through the narrow tunnels of your belief. And it's like it's time to give up trying to please these people or this person. And because it's like it doesn't matter how much you try, this person is always going to just sit around in the corner and judging you and making you feel like you're less than. It's because it's who they are, not because of who you are. That's the message from your child self. And also, they wanted me to add this. They were talking about, this is by Ben Edward, and he's one of my favorite content creators on TikTok. And he was talking about how we are never going to be healed because we're on this continuous journey of healing and transformation and spiritual growth. So like getting to this goal of healed doesn't even exist. And also he was saying, you know, when we are trying to heal our childhood trauma, we have a unique journey to walk. And he was saying the self-help journey looks different for people like us. Your parents conditioned you to believe that you were broken, that something was wrong with you. And so when you fix something in your life, you're looking for the next thing to fix. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't need to be fixed, just recovered. And that's what I'm saying. Underneath, you've always been, underneath all this trauma and underneath all this pain, you have always been light. Remember that and hold that light. And never let anyone taint it or darken it with their toxic ideas and behaviors. And the oracle card my guides want me to share with you says, turn your worry into wonder, surrender to the experience. What possibilities can you dream into reality? And this card reads, Dear one, you are far too hard on yourself. Your fears have been getting the best of you and causing unnecessary anxiety and stress. Fear has a sneaky way of tricking us into believing that worry is helping us. Your ego loves to worry because it feels in control. But most of our anxiety is based on false perceptions and beliefs. Remove yourself from the illusions that separate you from the truth, which is love. Great love is all around you. Trust the universe and yourself because your future is big, bright, bold, and so breathtakingly beautiful. As A Course in Miracles says, you are the dreamer of the world of dreams. When you detach from the fear and recognize and awaken from the dream spell, you will see that we live in a dream world where you are the creator of all that you see. If what you see is blocked or unclear, use this time to envision the reality you deserve. So, that's just echoing what I said before. It's time to know that it's impossible for you to not belong. And anyone who tried to make you feel like you don't belong, honestly, they were fearful that they don't belong. You've always belonged, and I'm so grateful you're here.